If you don't already know, this year's Star Wars film, Rogue One, takes place in the days prior to Episode 4, A New Hope, and follows the rebel team that steals the plans to the first Death Star. So, of course, the Death Star itself will be making its return to the big screen. But is it going to do anything more than simply look imposing? Or will we see some new planetary destruction? I'll be exploring that today, and be warned, this video contains speculation that could turn out to be spoilers. I do believe the Death Star will be fired on the planet Jedha. However, I do not think the super laser will be fully operational. I'm basing this off of this shot from the trailer showing a U-Wing escaping some massive disaster of some sort. As I've guessed before, I think the Empire is harvesting kyber crystals off the planet, but once they have what they need, the Emperor would likely want to destroy a planet that's so important to the Jedi. Not to mention it would cover their tracks. We know the Empire sterilized Geonosis to keep them quiet about the Death Star, so why not the people of Jedha as well? Now, this kind of destruction, while massive, doesn't look quite the same as the straight-up explosion of Alderaan. So that makes me think the super laser hasn't yet been fully calibrated or something. People have been wondering why we see the installation of the super laser when it was already installed in Revenge of the Sith. Maybe this is the answer to that question. It's an upgrade. This whole situation reminds me of the Death Star prototype from the Legends Jedi Academy trilogy. The laser was strong enough to penetrate a planet's crust and kill its core, but not strong enough to cause a planetary explosion. So maybe in Rogue One the city we've seen will be destroyed, but not the entire planet. Now, if this turns out to be true, I can see some people taking issue with Alderaan not being the first casualty of the Death Star. Personally, I don't have a problem with it because Jedha will likely be a very remote planet. In fact, Imperial propaganda may have kept it fairly secret, considering everything else they've done to erase the history of the Jedi. Even if it were well known, it would probably take some time for the news to spread throughout the galaxy. But assuming it's not a very central planet, Grand Moff Tarkin's desire to have a very public demonstration of the Death Star still stands, and his statement that Alderaan would be the first planet destroyed by the space station still makes sense. I don't think firing the Death Star in Rogue One would diminish any part of A New Hope. But what do you guys think? Do you think the Death Star will be used at all or not? Is that something you'd like to see, or do you want Alderaan to be the only planet affected by the Death Star? Let's talk about that in the comments. And if you haven't already, please like and subscribe to see new Star Wars videos every day, and consider checking out my Patreon page. As always, thank you for watching, and may the Force be with you.